I became a college instructor in history for student success. I wanted to help students gain an education and learn the things they need to do to find success in this life and even beyond. As I tell my students, I tell my students, I didn't become a college instructor to fail students. In other words, I didn't become an instructor so that I could give F's to everyone. I became a college instructor for student success, meaning I want to be the type of teacher or the successful teacher that increases the student's knowledge, capacity for learning, capacity for critical thinking, capacity for making good decisions, good judgment, increase their capacity for success. Do all students have the same level of capacity? No. So it's my job as an instructor to meet students where they're at and increase their capacity. So, in other words, to me, it's not a sign of success if out of a class of 30, 20 of your students got an F. The sign of success is taking 30 students who aren't interested in history or have low capacity or um, whatever inability to be successful, I guess, or obstacles to success. It's my job to get them increase their capacity. Does that mean everyone gets an A? No, because why? Not everyone's an A student. Not everyone has the capacity for an A. We're all different. But it's my job as an educator to meet a student where they're at academically, intellectually, and increase their capacity. Can they? Can somebody eventually become an A student? Absolutely. Can an F student become a C student? Yes. Can an F student become an A student? Sure. Yeah. Through hard work, through study, through um, spiritual, educational, and emotional growth. Yes. So my philosophy of education is that it's my job when I enter a classroom and my students entering the classroom, my goal, my job is to increase capacity. If you are struggling, if you're struggling with writing, then I become a writing teacher and I help you write better. If you're struggling with time management, if that's an obstacle to success, then I'm going to help you with time management. If you struggle remembering dates, then it's my job to help you find ways to remember that the Civil War happened between 1861 and 1865. Increase capacity. If you struggle picking between sources and evaluating sources, it is my job to teach you that evaluating sources. If you have trouble uh, discussing or figuring out the different theses and arguments in an argument, is my job to help you be able to parse that out. And, what's the thesis? What are the arguments? What's the supporting evidence? If you have muddled thinking, it's my job to help you find strategies to not be muddled. You know, so that's my job. That's my philosophy of education. Is I'm here for success, for your success. Does that mean you're going to get an A? No. You may not have that capacity with me, but you you will have the opportunity to increase your capacity, your knowledge, your critical thinking, your ability to evaluate sources, your ability to time manage, your ability to write, whatever you need for student success, I can increase your capacity for that. And so that's my philosophy of education. Thank you.